So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I have a soft spot for children's movies, because in them normally lies the heart of what makes them great stories. Sure, maybe they get wrapped up and given back to us with clear-cut answers about love and friendship, and there's not a lot to chew on, but sometimes I'm just looking for something to put a smile on my face. And so, the Peanuts gang is not exempt from that ruling, and A Charlie Brown Christmas holds up as one of those movies, shows, short movies that hold up for me to this day. Don't get me wrong, it's still a Christmas movie with the same kind of Christmassy ending and pro-Christianity angle, but I still think there's enough going on with this short story to allow for some discussion. When the short opens, we see all the Peanut gang skating around and singing, showing that they're already in the full swing of holiday spirit, but because Charlie Brown exists, he expresses to Linus that he isn't happy. He admits he likes going through the motions of the holidays, but he doesn't quite understand why he can't be happy like other kids. And that worry's beginning to trouble him, which then Linus teases him for expressing his feelings. See, in just that, I think this movie starts off with a really cool premise. Not a unique one, but the older and older I've gotten, the more I've begun to realize the holidays are a stressful time of year, whether it be through catching up to relatives or to stress buying everyone a gift to show them you love them. The holidays can be difficult, and all that clashes with the main concept of the holiday, which is to just enjoy being happy. Charlie Brown doesn't do all of that, of course, because the short doesn't get into the scary area of discussing politics with your relatives, because it starts with Charlie Brown expressing his sadness, and specifically him not understanding why he's sad. The emotion is allowed to land because he's a child. Because he's a child who doesn't understand why he's sad. And that inability to express yourself allows him to resonate with children and adults alike, especially when he's berated for expressing those complicated feelings. The next scenes of him interacting with everyone who is happy only outlines why he's sad all the more. Lucy, Sally, even Pigpen show off their respective holiday spirits to him. It's not enough that he is sad, but everyone else around him is happy. And that lack of reassurance only makes him sadder because he feels like he's the odd one out. Which is, Charlie Brown's whole thing, that everyone has felt like that they're a Charlie Brown in their life, and this is no different. But of course, he doesn't give up. He seeks help and is suggested to direct the Christmas play, where he gets the infamous twig tree. And you see, this is where this whole holiday misery, I think, gets even better. Because Charlie does everything that people are saying. He goes to get help, he directs a play at their suggestion, and he goes and gets a tree. He did exactly what they asked of him. But in some ways, it really only makes it worse. Charlie Brown, as a story, relies on our feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. And this is shown pretty well, with just him doing what they say and them not being happy with how he did it. It's a very relatable feeling, and his gusto of throwing his heart into the play and them not really meeting him at his level can also sting really badly when you really want something to work and people just still aren't helping you. Or simply, he's trying his best, but that's not good enough for the people around him, so that makes him feel worse, which during a season of togetherness can hurt all the more. Now, of course, here comes the famous Bible quote scene where Linus lays out the true meaning of Christmas for Charlie and the rest of the gang. Which I don't think is very good. One, because it's very blatantly Christian, which might give off the feeling that unless you're Christian, you can't understand Christmas. And two, because it's not really presented in an interesting way. The animation is just Linus speaking, and it goes on for like a whole 2 minutes. So I think this scene is bad. I understand it was written for a different time, and context is very important, but it still gives off an exclusionary vibe, and it's not easy to dismiss because it is supposed to be the moral of the short. So unless you understand the quote itself, this whole scene will probably leave you with a bad impression. Despite the fact that the only thing the quote is really saying is that this time of year is meant to be a time for togetherness and everyone deserves some kindness. So I recommend just muting this scene until they get to Charlie Brown's house because the animation is nice and it shows Charlie Brown mustering one last effort with whatever message you would like to add to the story. And the story ends with the Peanut Gang as a whole coming together to care and love the tree that Charlie had given them, showing that all it needed was a little love. And that's how I choose to interpret this short. Everyone has been a Charlie Brown before because sometimes our emotions are scattered and confusing, or our insecurities take over. And because we all know how that feels, then we should be aware of other Charlie Browns. If they try to express their concerns to us, then we should respond with love and understanding, because ultimately that's all Charlie Brown really needed. Is that a simple message? Yeah. Are there exceptions? Oh yeah. But I still think that short is worth something because it shows that this sadness can also exist during this time of holiday cheer. And people should be understanding of that. But For now, that's all I got. Happy holidays everyone, and I'll see you next time.